Hey there, it's Corrine. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I was making a gift bag and thought I would just go ahead and record it because maybe it would give you some inspiration. I'm using this gorgeous paper by Pink Paisley, the Snow Village collection, and I'm also using an SVG cut from the Silhouette online design store by Lori Whitlock. I'll be sure to link that down in the description box. I did use my Silhouette Cameo to cut the pieces out, but that inspired me to go ahead and make one by hand without using a cut. I will have a video of that coming up shortly for those of you who choose not to use an electronic die cut machine, or for those that don't have one. I show how to make a bag similar to this one without using a machine to cut it. So I just went ahead and used, I think it was peeled paint, and I inked up my edges on my paper, which you end up not seeing much of this paper because I changed my mind halfway through. I did already start putting the bag together just by gluing the two tab pieces together, and now I'm adding some Beacon Fabri-Tac to my matting pieces and just lining those up. They do have a scallop edge to them. The cut file comes much smaller than this. I changed the size in my design studio to fit the size bag that I wanted. And this side piece comes in two different pieces. That way you can still pinch your bag together. It's a super cute bag when it's all put together. So I'm just going around all the edges and adding lots of glue to make sure it's adhered well. Because of that side pinch, my paper did end up cracking, so I went ahead and added some reinforcements to the inside, which I'll show you here. So as you can see, the bag just kind of folds in. It's super easy to put together. And again, I'll link the video showing how to make one by hand if you don't have a Cameo or a Cricut to cut this with. So I just measured the bottom. I'm looking through and I end up finding just a scrap piece of paper that I thought went well with it. I'm going to go ahead and put a chipboard piece in the bottom of my bag, and that's what you see me doing here, is attaching the pattern paper to it, pressing that down with my brayer just to make sure it's adhered well, and shoving that down into the bottom of the bag. That's going to give my bag more stability and a little more weight to it, it makes it nicer. This gorgeous glitter paper, this is what I decided. I decided to put a matting on this to give it just a little bit extra. I love this glitter paper, and I do end up doing this, but you'll see because I was matting it, I left a little border of the green on the sides and the bottom. I changed my mind on this as well and have the glitter paper go all the way to the ends. I thought it looked better. I still leave that little scallop edge at the bottom, but not, I take it all the way to the sides instead, which I was much happier with. So again, if you're going to make this box, I would either cut one long piece for this side so it doesn't pinch in, even though that's cute. The paper did crack. Or you can add reinforcements on the inside, which you'll see me do here. So this is me cutting out the pieces again. I did not want to rip that off. I didn't want to rip my bag, so I'm just going to glue them directly over it. And now it goes edge to edge, which I thought looked much better. But yet I still leave a tiny green border at the bottom. You can see that scallop sticking out. So I did that to all sides. I changed it. And I get that glitter paper on Amazon. I will be sure to link that below. I also cut out one of their 3x4 tags from the same collection, and a tag that I had in my stash. I'm not sure where that die is from, but I cut it out twice from some craft cardstock, gluing it together just again to give my tag some stability to it. And then I'm adding that piece on top, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp on that as well. These little gift bags are so cute, and to me it's a great size. It's 7.5 by 6.5 by 4, I believe, the finished product. So I'm pulling out my Misty and this Believe stamp. This is a honeybee stamp. I believe it's called Believe. And I'm using some VersaFine, I believe, in red. I stamped that twice. This is just going on the back of the tag. It says, "In the Magic of Christmas." And I'm using some Fern Green Archival ink to stamp that. Cleaning it really well with my chamois cloth before putting the stamps away. And now I'm pulling out some more stamps. This one says Merry Christmas wishes, I believe, and to and from. So the recipient can, I'm actually making this bag for somebody else so she can put who it's to and from. I made myself a few bags as well to be able to give over this holiday. It actually says Merry Christmas to you, and then again the to and from. Super cute. So I decided I wanted to make a few little, one I made into a card. The other two are just tags basically. So I'm using my Gina K Designs Wreath Builder and pulling out some Concord and Ninth ink. And while I had all my stuff out, I went ahead and made 3 of them. But mostly I'll just show you the one on camera because it's redundant. I did them the same. If you've not used this wreath builder, it is so much fun to work with. And Gina K shows putting it in her MISTI, and that works really well. Taping it in. So since I had all the supplies out, like I said, I went ahead and did 3 at a time and just pulled out some more. I believe for all of these I use Concord and Ninth inks. I love their inks. Some I stamped twice to get a darker image. Others I only stamped once. It just kind of depended on the look that I was going for or what stamp I was using at that time. And this is the 3 3/4 inch wreath builder. So that panel is 3 3/4. I'll end up matting it on some cardstock, but it starts out as 3 3/4. So now I'm going in and adding some leaves. This really doesn't take long, and it's just so pretty how it turns out. And they're always different. There's so much you can do with them. So like this, the other green leaf, I think I used the same green, and that one I stamped twice. This one I'm only stamping once, so I'm getting a lighter shade. So it looks like I'm using a different ink pad altogether. So pretty. Okay, this is the one I was referring to. Sorry about that. It's this one that I only inked once, and I'm getting a much lighter shade. Now I'm using this really pretty coral color and adding a few berries just to give it that little bit of a pink to it. It's like a pink coral color, I guess. And here's a close-up look of that. I just love how those turned out. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside pieces, the ring to go inside. And a lot of times I like stamping it off on a scrap piece of paper just to make sure that it's a good coverage before I go directly onto my piece. So I'll stamp that a couple times. Once I'm happy with that, I'll stamp that in. And again, I do that to all 3 pieces. And then Warm Winter Wishes, I believe is what I stamped on the inside. Yeah, Warm Winter Wishes, so pretty. So at this point I had decided to mat these on a matching red cardstock that I had in my stash. But you'll see that I leave it like that because I love the red on it. I think it makes that other red in the wreath pop. But I do add some silver glitter paper to it. Here I pulled out some Nouveau crystal drops in white and some Distress clear glitter. And I'll show you up close, it looks really pretty, but it just doesn't show at the end. So if you're going to make something like this, I would just skip this step altogether. I love the Nouveau drops, but the white, see, you can see it, but it blends in. It blends even more once it dries. So I would just, to do these again, I won't do that step. I would probably add pearls or enamel dots, maybe some red enamel dots throughout. Those would stand out much better. But I was trying it. And the glitter does look pretty on it. You just hardly notice it. I pulled out a La La Land Crafts stitched bow die. I love this die. You'll see me use it a lot throughout especially the Christmas season. And that's when I decided to back it with silver glitter paper. So the back side is red, and then it still has that red pop around it. And I just love how this turned out. I added these to 2 Christmas gifts that I sent off. I put them in the box and just wrote my message on the back with a matte white piece. So I added a small little white piece on the back, added our message to it. And the third one I turned into a card to go along with that gift bag. And on all 3, I added a white enamel dot to the center. So here I pulled out some ribbon I've had in my stash for a very long time, but it turned out so cute with this bag. It's from Stampin' Up, and I'm just tying it off twice so it doesn't slip back through that hole, doing the same thing to the other side. And then I do add a little bit of Fabri-Tac to the ends of the ribbon, and that's just going to help hold it on there. But really, in my opinion, it's mostly for looks. You can carry it by the handles though. So I did that to both sides, and that dries fairly quickly. So cute. Like I said, I've made several of these bags since then. So I'm just hole punching the top of that tag, adding some sheer ribbon to it and tying that on. And here's where I'm showing you I decided to make a card. I think it ended up being a 4.5 square card because I did make a envelope for it as well. Still being careful with those Crystal Nouveau drops. As you see, I'm not really pushing on it. And I'm just going to add a matting piece for the inside. And I do wait till the next day and take a dry paintbrush and brush over the front of the cards to get rid of any extra glitter. I do that over my trash can. So that's going to go along with the bag, inside the bag. Here I use some green glitter paper. I believe this is Recollections paper from Michaels. Cut out a bow. I thought that went well, and added a large pearl to the center of it. So pretty. And here's a close-up look of it. I'm not sure if I show it on camera, but I did go back where I tied that sheer ribbon and added 2 white jingle bells. It really looked cute. Here's some flat back snowflakes. And being that this is the next day, I brushed off any excess glitter on there. And being that I could see that you couldn't really, the enamel dots or the Crystal Nouveau drops didn't show up, I thought these showed up beautifully. So here is the final bag. I added some homemade caramel popcorn, and I will post more pictures on Instagram of the other bags that I made, but check out my other video if you want to see how to make one by hand without using a die cut machine. I'm also going to include the recipe for the homemade caramel popcorn. It's a hit every year. I'll add that onto my blog, so check down the description for more information, and I hope you stop by that other video. I believe I show in that one the jingle bells added onto the bag, and it turned out super cute. I also added a little gnome where I have a video on those as well if you want to check that out. Thanks for stopping by. Please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Have a great day.